Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Momentum Monday. This is episode 20, and we have two special guests today. Not really guests because we're good friends, but maybe to you guys, you're getting to know them, or if you're new here, but if you're not, then you know Rob Smales and Lisa DeBaets. Say hi, guys.
Hey guys, how you doing?
So Rob is he's here from Hamburg, Germany, and Lisa DeBaets is from Seattle, Washington. Hi, Rob and Lisa.
Hey.
How's it going?
Yeah, let me get into chat here and see who's all with us right now. My computer's a little sluggish. It must be Monday. Hello to Leslie and Bev and Indu Shaw, Nano, Nancy McPhee, Karen Phillips, Terry Copel, Marion Hedger. Wow, guys, thank you for joining us. And what we want to know is if you're going to be painting with us, because we are all here to paint and get some fun stuff done here. Let me just tell you what today's episode is all about. Today is episode 20. So we've done 20 of these. If you ever want to check out the previous episodes, they're under the live tab on my channel, which is youtube.com/Pamela Caughey. And so with episode 20, the title is Less is More. Sorry about that. Freedom with limitations. So what does that mean? And what does less is more mean? It sounds like something that we should be thinking about, yet it's kind of hard when you're a painter because less is more. So I'll just start off by telling you guys that I'm working on a series and I'd like to keep adding to my series. So I'm sticking with Willa's palette here. And it's not a small palette. She was not more colors. So I ended up with 5 colors, which is great. They're on my palette now. And then, so one limitation is to choose colors that you don't, you kind of pretty much keep those colors. And that doesn't mean there can be a tiny bit of something else in there for spice, but mainly those are the colors on my palette. Number 2 is I'm limiting my shapes. So my lexicon series is pretty much about shape as it relates to letters, big letters, small letters, script letters, asemic writing type things. And then the third thing is just that before I launch off into my limitation, I'm going to just set up like a background on each of several panels here so that I don't use a hairdryer. I'm just going to let them dry on the shelf here. And I just move on to another panel, move on to another panel. And then I move into the shape making and the actual painting. So which one of you would like to talk about your limitations today? Rob
Lisa,
or Lisa?
do you want to go first? Or?
Well, I am going to limit my palette and my shapes again. However, I am going to start with some mixed, colors just to get stuff on the canvas. So
there you go. Cool. So you're working on canvas. Okay. What size is your canvas, Lisa?
This is 8 by 10. It's small, so I'm not used to doing small. Normally if I do small, I have a bunch of them together on the wall. And so I'm doing flat, which is why I've got my paper towel here under me, just to have a little bit of an incline. And so it's a challenge. Should I show my practice that I practiced?
Yes.
It was a bit of a challenge, and but I overcame. I used paper towel, and it turned out lovely. And so, but that's okay. I just had to get used to not doing as many marks as I normally do. So it'll be okay. It's a challenge, right? It's good to have a challenge.
Just before you go, I wanted to say that, it's really true. Like Lisa normally works on the wall. I asked her like, oh, are you working on an easel today? But for this call, she wants you guys to be able to see what she's doing. So she's working smaller and she's working, it's not terribly comfortable for her. So just keep in mind that when we do these things live, we often do things that are not in our comfort zone. And Lisa definitely is not in her comfort zone. But she definitely wants you guys to be able to see what she's doing. And I just so admire that. So thank you, Lisa. And Rob, what are you doing today?
So first thing to say, I also usually work on the wall quite big. So this is also out of my comfort zone. But I think something about doing something really different is kind of fun at the same time. Just challenge yourself a bit. Okay. So I've decided that I'm going to limit myself just to blues. I would say it's probably my favorite color. Lots of different blues, but just blue. And I'm thinking I'm going to stick to the shape as a kind of ellipse like a sort of leaf shape in different variations, and maybe some semi kind of ellipses and things like that. So curvilinear, basically.
Tell us more about your blues. I'd love to know what blues, and are you also adding black and white to your palette?
So this is my chance to test this new equipment out that I have. I'm going to go down on my... so hopefully that's working.
Yes, it's beautiful. And you've got your paint in little pots there. How cool.
Yeah, so I have, I've like prepared, I've just taken all sort of the blue stuff that I have. So blue pastels, blue pencils, some lovely oil pastel. So I've just separated them from all my other stuff just to get started. So I can just grab whatever I want, basically. And then this is my kind of color mixing system, is I just save all my paints from past paintings in these little pots. And I put lids on them so they last quite a long time.
Nice.
Yeah, and then so I'm going to be using them today.
So one quick question. You mentioned you had a sennelier, looks like an oil stick or something like that. Would you put that down and then put acrylic over that and like whatever happens, happens, or?
Exactly, yeah. I totally played today, so.
Oh, nice. I love that.
Yeah, probably maybe do 2 or 3 sheets of paper and sort of switch between them.
Okay, great. So, and that allows both Rob and, all of us who are doing that. Lisa, I don't know if you're going to work on one or several. I think you said you had at least 2 there. So those of you out there, to save time, we always talk about time is so limited, right? Sure, you could be working on one and get out a hair dryer and spend like 20 minutes drying it and then, then move on to the next layer. But if you've got several gessoed panels or pieces of paper, you just move it out of the way, start another one, move it out of the way, start another one. And how many of you out there, hi to Porter, Maureen, Evelyn from France, wow, Jonah and Sue White, Claudia Naus, Vicky K, Devandi Studios, yay guys, thank you so much for joining us. It makes it more fun. So for those of you out there who are going to be doing this with us, feel free to pop into chat, what you're working on. It doesn't have to be painting, like you might be working on one of our master classes or something like that. It doesn't matter. Well, we just love having you here. Yes, happy to have you here, Amy. So yeah, and if you have questions, I will be popping up, looking at the chat every now and then. Hi, Giovanna. Oh, Marie's here. Yay. How nice.
Marie.
Hi, Marie.
Norway. Okay, she's one of our admin guys. And by the way, Rob Smales is an artist as well as our pro admin, one of our pro admin, and Lisa DeBaets, also, you guys know her. She is also artist and pro admin. And both of these guys have amazing websites. So let me just see if I can find that real quick here. You want to check out both of their websites. Here's Rob Smales art. See if I can, my computer's a little sluggish today. robsmalesart.com. And then Lisa has a show going on right now. So you'll definitely want to check this out. And here is her website, lisadebates.com/works. And then click on art in the salon. She's got, how many pieces are, Lisa?
36.
Oh, how come so few?
Wow.
How come so few?
I'm joking. You slacker, you. I mean, 36. Come on.
I didn't know I had that many, really. I did not until we got them together.
That's insane, guys. Okay. All right. So listen, we love to know what you're working on. And Patria says, working on getting studio set up to be able to work full time. Woo, still doing that. Great. And hello to Kara Jane Stanford and Sharon Bechtold. Okay. So guys, we are painting, and I'm going to just like get rid of my thing here. See if I can do that.
Get rid of the banner.
Oh, that too. If I can figure out how to do that. Did I do it? Oh.
Sorry, I can't help you.
That's okay. No worries. Now you're going to appreciate how much Lisa is so great at what she does. But my computer is super sluggish this morning, and I am not quite sure why it still says hello. Let me try to hide this. Hide. There we go. You guys, okay, Lisa and Rob, you continue to do your thing while I stumble and bumble here, okay?
So you want us to start?
Oh yeah, please go for it. Don't
Okay,
wait for
so
me.
you need to just remove the banner.
Okay. I thought I did.
No, it's back.
Yeah, okay. All right.
It's all right. You have to go back into banner and remove.
I did it. Yeah, there we go. It's just sluggish. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I just need to remove this guy from.
The main thing is you guys aren't sluggish this morning.
That's right. You too, Rob. Well, you're not in the morning, are you? There we go. That looks better now. The way it should be.
Yeah.
Except, yeah, there we are.
I'm trying to get the 3-person layout here. Nope, that's not what I wanted.
Where you did that.
Ooh, look what Lisa's doing with her automatic drawing. That's very cool. Lisa, just trying to get rid of one of my face up there. I don't know how to do it. Go from stream or mute? No.
I don't remember. I have to be looking at it.
No, don't even worry about it.
So,
Okay.
sorry.
I'm just going to leave my face up there, guys. Sorry.
Yeah,
but oh well. Okay.
It's all good. It's all good. We don't mind seeing your face, Clint.
That makes one of you. All right. So you guys feel free to talk about what you're doing too. If you want to share anything about what you're doing. So I'm personally just setting up. I've got several gessoed boards here. They are let's see, basswood from Rex Art. And what I'm going to do, I was really inspired by my sweatshirt this morning. I was looking in the mirror and it's like, I wear this all the time. And for the first time, I realized like, oh my gosh, he has like pink is pink, black is black, turquoise is turquoise. And it's not like he's doing a whole lot of blending, it looks to me like. And it's just a little observation I made. So I thought, okay, when I do these boards this morning, I might, some of my colors are actually quite a bit like what he's using. So maybe Willa Chin. Basquiat.
I love Willa's palette though. It's gorgeous.
Thank you. I do too. It was so cute. I was watching her choose her colors and, I gave her a choice and she was very like definite. No, I want this one,
Well, I'm starting the way I always start, which is to do my mark making and dribble some ink. And it's not straight up and down on the wall, so it's not dripping quite like it normally would. But that's okay because it's not. It doesn't have to. And then I barely dip my brush, and it's got to be one of these chip brushes, right?
Right.
And I rub sideways
to make gorgeous. Whoa! Such a master of water media.
Love these colorful grays that I always get.
That's exciting.
And then my fun paper towels.
So have you guys been painting over the weekend?
I've been sewing. Because we're going to go see Willa. And I was just explaining how I haven't sewn in a while. And it just proved to me that if you don't keep doing something, and it related to painting, like if you don't keep the little things that apply to painting, like everything from mixing your paint to cleaning your brushes to having your boards prepped and all that kind of stuff. If you miss one of those steps and get really like out of it, it's really kind of hard to get back into it. And I noticed that because I haven't sewn in a while, and I kept thinking of the comparison between studio work and keeping everything kind of just constant and going. And anyways, yeah. How about you guys?
Painting, just practicing a little bit for this is all.
All right.
I've been busy making my own canvases, which is the first time I've done it. Like
really? You mean stretching them?
Stretching them, yeah. Which is more like DIY than art somehow, but
well, yeah, but Yeah. Good. All right, I'm looking at the comments here. See what other people are doing. Let's see here. Comments. My computer is definitely feeling like it's Monday. Pam Drobick says, happy to be here on Monday. Hi from Iceland. Yay.
Yeah. Oh, that's quite loud.
Nelson Burras, hello from France. Oh, wonderful. Thank you for joining us. The Ink Hotel, so satisfying to stretch your own canvases. There you go. Susan Spector, hello, Susan. The Bueller Institute, hi there from Laguna Niguel, California. We hope you're all safe. Gordy Swayze, hey, Tina Van Busick. Tina's working on her third three-tier concertina. I wish that we could see what you're doing, guys, but we can't. So
they'll definitely have to post it in the Facebook group.
There you go. Yeah, we'd love to see what you guys are doing on Momentum Monday in the Facebook group. Okay, so I'm just going to, let's see. So the brushes here.
This is a cradle board. I found it kind of tucked away, and so thought I would use it. It's a little noisier, but I guess we're all kind of noisy, so that's okay.
Yeah.
And of course, I recently found out that I love connected diamonds, and they don't have to be perfect. The more quirky, the better. So I'm exploring that as well, along with my circles.
And Lisa, do you want to talk about, you've gone through ASM twice. This is your second time through. And just tell anyone who's like new out there in Art Success Masters how, it does take time, right?
Oh, yes, it does. I mean, I didn't get so much. I just didn't understand why felt like I wasn't learning, right? And I kind of felt it just was really weird the first time, but I just kept going, because I knew it would eventually happen. And I was learning stuff. I just wasn't finding love. So I wasn't finding what was important to me. I was doing lots of great stuff, but I just didn't feel like anything important was happening. And, but then when I started again with Discover Your Soul, that is when it happened. It's like everything I didn't get or didn't understand the first time I got. And I'm sure the next time I go through it, I'll get more. So I'm super, super excited about it and thrilled that, I figured out these circles are, and what's really cool is it's not like they weren't there all along. They were. I just hadn't noticed it. It's like I'm learning to understand. I'm learning to listen. I'm not even sure how to put it into words, Pam. You're probably better able to say it than I am, but I'm for sure seeing these things that have been around me for so long and how much I love them and how important they are. And I'm really thrilled that I'm seeing them.
Well, I'm so excited for you. And that's why I think Discover Your Soul is a lifelong process. And for those of you in Discover Your Soul now, and you might feel like, oh gosh, I could spend my whole lifetime here. You're right, you could and you should. And therefore, as we move on to the next masterclass, don't worry if you're feeling like, gosh, I need to stay in M1 a lot longer. You can. That's perfectly fine, and we encourage you to do that if you really want to. But also keep in mind that Discover Your Soul is like something that masterclass I hope teaches you kind of the questions to ask, what to look for on a daily basis, so that it sets you up for the mindset of always being watching and looking and observing and making notes, perhaps in your My Story sketchbook or some other journal, so that even as you move on to the other master classes, you're always discovering your soul. So don't feel like you have to complete that in M1, because actually it goes on forever. Right, Lisa?
Oh, yeah. And I am so glad we are starting again, because like I said, I just kind of felt like I was missing something. And now I know it's just part of the process of going on, right? Not stopping, showing up every day and doing it. Even if sometimes when you show up, it's admin work. You know, that's not fun, but we have to do it, right?
Right.
And so it's part of it, and you just keep showing up and
You know,
and doing it.
I'm also enjoying the fact that it's module 1 again, and I think sometimes it's not so much the fact that we've developed as people so much in a year, but we have probably developed in how we see ourselves,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think that's right, Rob.
And
like there's that
I
saying, like oh no, I'm bringing up a saying and I can't remember the exact like once you're ready, oh wait a minute, once you're ready, the teacher will appear. I like that saying.
That's
But it's
good.
kind of like once you're ready, like you'll recognize stuff in yourself. You know, you can't do it before you've sort of grown enough to that point.
Yeah, I agree. Like there's a time and place for everything under the sun, right? That's kind of,
yeah.
I like that one. And yeah, so, and I just love, like, you know, we've got people who are new and people who are veterans, we call them, in our pro membership, who are in ASM, and you know, we both benefit from each other. That's the cool thing. We all have something to share. It's all valid. There are no mistakes, just learning and growing together.
That's right.
So any other comments out there? So yeah, if anybody is new to this Monday morning, oh, Lisa, look what you're doing. Wow, that's
I know. Fun, huh?
Oh. And Rob, look at those beautiful shapes you're doing.
Thanks.
You know, it's really cool. Like, let me just spotlight some of you guys here. Make sure I don't accidentally remove you from screen, because I might do that. Okay, great. So now you can see Rob has got his blues there.
Ooh, pretty.
Look at, this is like the epitome of limitation. One color, but many blues. And then one shape, which he's really, really sticking with that. Big, small, horizontal, on an angle, vertical. And look at all the different ways you can play. He's not distracted by, oh, what about a circle? Or what about, you know, what about a dog shape? He's focusing on one shape, and that's how you get the freedom. So he's given himself freedom with these limitations. Lisa, let's get her spotlit here. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see, I got to first remove spotlight. Exit solo layout, there we go. Now, Lisa's laughing. She knows now that I'm experiencing what she experiences.
That's right.
She's laughing.
I can't do anything about it.
She's laughing. And okay, and this is lovely. Look at those gorgeous. So Lisa is a master of water media, and she hasn't even been painting that long in the scheme of things, but she is a explorer. She takes a lot of risk. Look at the free-flowing washes and the marks. She's recently discovered her love of these interconnected and circles bumping into each other. And we were talking about this the other day, how, you know, she loves community. She loves people. She's a real extrovert. She's just such a giving, loving person. And she, noticing how, you know, when she saw some paintings that had circles in them, they really appealed to her because maybe they kind of suggested community. So that was a really cool thing. All right, let's look at some new comments here. I saw one up here a second ago by, okay, Andrea Galusa. Hello, Andrea. Okay, Robert Simmons has a question for Rob. Rob, what tape did you use?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. So I was going to bring that up at some point because I use tape all the time, I have to say. Because I like those really crisp lines. Mm-hmm. So I do use paintbrushes as well, but a lot of the time I'm masking. So this one just here is just a really bog standard normal masking tape, but I have discovered a really good tape because I've tried lots out. Where have I just put it? It's pink. 1 second.
But those are painter's tapes, right?
Yeah. So this one just here, the yellow one is, you know, $2 like totally normal tape. I'm just playing at the moment, so that's fine really, because there's going to be lots of layers going on top. But there is a really good one for precision. It's pink.
Okay.
And it's by a company called Tesa, Tesa. And that one I found to be the best one. I can't find it right this second, but
Well, and he lives in Germany, so I'm not sure if that's an international brand or, but it's good that you tell us that. Great. Thank you. And
right.
let's see here, looking at the chats, guys. If you have a question, please put it in all caps so that like at a glance, I can really find it. Brenda says, my first time to catch you live, definitely enjoying hearing about your various processes. Thanks. Thank you, Brenda, for joining us. Susan Henry Scott, I'll be posting my diamond painting soon. Yay. We love to see that. And then Stephanie McComber says, I'm working on a small high-key painting with easy and fun shapes without luring, and it's so fun. I learned in my contrast book that I want to explore more high-key sherbety colors. Ooh, love the sherbety colors. And Porter Smith there says, yes, tease a tape pink. So hopefully one of you can find out if that's available,
Yeah, I have it here now, Pam. This is what it looks like.
Beautiful.
Nice. I mean, I'm sure there's others, but this is a good one. And another tape I use a lot is this one, which is really thin.
Yes.
That's also fun, like to do sort of stripy textures at different points. I use that a lot.
Yes. I have that one too. And then Devandy Studio says, in his hand now, the blue, I think, is the masking tape mostly used in the automotive industry. I believe I also saw blue painter's tape mostly used for painting houses. Yeah. Yeah. And I also have lots of different types of tapes. So I know that, they're different in their tack and their width, and you just have to experiment like Rob has done. So that's awesome. And Susan Spector says, Rob, show what happens with acrylic over the oil bar. But if that happens, it happens. But he's playing now, so
I can do that in a sec.
Yeah. And you guys, as far as the names of these tapes, honestly, part of it is that he lives in another country, right? And he could give you the name of it. That doesn't mean you're going to be able to find it. What I would do is get online and look in your local supply stores, automotive, Amazon, paint stores, and look for, I think it's called Graphic. I found some really good thin tape from Graphic. I think they're called Graphic tape. Graphic artists use them. So Rob, let us know if you're going to be using that oil.
Yeah.
Just we're not, if it ever pops up,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, as Nancy McPhee says, Amazon has it. Okay, probably other places too. There you go. So, and then Devandy Studio says striping tape. So yeah, I would imagine automotive places do that sometimes with the striping. They have to mask things off on cars, I suppose, if they're spraying. And then Jonah Thor says, Tesa Blue is what I use. I think it's very similar. Okay, great, guys. That's awesome. So, yeah, anyone who's new here in the audience, Rob and Lisa are two of my very valued pro admin, and we've got Marit Hope from Norway, who's also part of my admin, and we so love our admin. They're helping us in pro membership, and all of our artists, all of our admin are also in the Art Success Masters course. So if you're not familiar with the Art Success Masters course, it's never too late to join us. Let me just put in the URL here. It's you can watch a little presentation about what it's all about so that you can join us. But I've got gloves on, so it's really hard to type. Yeah. So what we're doing in this, if you watch the 4steproadmap.com, what that is a masterclass for an hour. It's about an hour long, and I show you my 4 steps that we're all basically kind of following here. They're very flexible and broad, but they've helped the artists in our group to grow. Hopefully, Lisa and Rob, you guys feel that way, and anyone else?
Pam, I can't see. It might just be my screen, but I can only see me. Are you guys?
Yeah, that's because you're spotlit.
Awesome. Okay.
So I was going to say, I can't see anything else either.
Oh, there you go. Oh, look what Lisa's doing. She's really moved into some shape.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I've changed to my 3rd or 4th thing because they're all wet, right? So
yes,
this is a collage. I don't like collage, but I did this with my friend Linda a while back, and I knew I would find a purpose for it. And
Yes,
so today I am going to paint around this stuff. Isn't that great?
that is. I actually really love that collage, Lisa.
Oh, thank you.
So you don't like collage?
No, I don't like getting my fingers sticky. Like I'm getting stuff on my fingers now, and I'm not liking it at all.
Well, I recently tried the Jonathan Talbot thing while Cynthia was here. I did it actually after she left, but I tried it and it really does work. You just coat either side of any collage paper with acrylic gloss medium, and then you attach it to another surface that has acrylic gloss medium and with a tack iron. And if you just prepare your papers ahead of time, you don't have messy fingers.
Oh,
You might really like that, Lisa.
I'll have to remember that.
Yeah.
I'm
now,
gonna
I'm
do.
wishing
I'm
I
gonna
had
be.
gloves.
I'm using some. What's it called? Wax paper, sugar paper, rice paper.
Okay. Deli paper.
So for
maybe?
some. God, I can't speak today. What's the word?
Monoprint.
Transfers.
Monoprinting. Or?
Yeah. It's quite hard trying to speak and paint at the same time.
If we start sounding like 3-year-olds, guys, that's probably a good sign.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Okay, so let me just get back to this. Sorry, guys, I have to watch what I'm doing here. Let's see.
Okay, enjoy yourself for a minute, Pam.
It's okay. I'm enjoying myself. I just had to remove what tape does Rob use? It's been up there for 3 hours.
So Devandy Studios asked, how can I find the Facebook group? Well, you have to become a member.
Yeah.
And so you have to sign up for.
Well, in order to be part of our pro Facebook group, that's connected to either of 2 of my courses. One is the Art Success Masters, and the other one is the Powerful Design Personal Color, which is at artandsuccess.com. Under my name, you can see that website. So, yeah.
That's loud.
I don't either, Giovanna, but I don't know why, because I'm weird. She's asking how we can speak at the same time. I don't know. All I can say is I'm a multitasker, and I love to multitask. Makes my husband like really mad because he'll be watching something on the computer, and he's, he wants me to be enjoying it with him, but I can't just watch TV. Yeah.
My hubby, it kind of makes him crazy too, right? Yeah. He doesn't understand how I can be doing stuff on my phone and watching TV and talking to him at the same time.
Yeah, that's not my forte either. Next time we should get some music going. Or it's probably copyrighted on.
The only trouble with that is because it's on YouTube. If it's music that's if it's not royalty free, they're going to take the.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, can't do that, can we?
Yeah, I feel badly though for like musicians and writers right now. They're striking in Hollywood, and Cynthia Lee has a son who's an actor, and he's all part of that. And they're just on strike because they're not getting their royalties, and they're artists, so it's not fair.
No, wow.
You know what though, Pam? I think this whole this whole thing of like artificial intelligence is affecting Hollywood too.
Yes, it is.
And I think that would be a big topic for us to talk about at some point. I think it's going to change everything, including
the
arts, right?
Yes, I agree. And although, I mean, I've seen it happen in my own like school, where some of the people that I was freelancing with are saying, sorry, I basically they're not able to do their IT jobs anymore because Chat GPT is
Yeah.
quickly taken over that thing. And
Oh, wow. It's so sad.
I didn't even know about ChatGPT till last week, and then I tried it out and it's kind of amazing.
yeah, it is.
And it's gonna change everything. And
Yeah.
I think there's no beating it, so you might as well join it and see how you can use it to your advantage.
Yeah, I think that's very true.
I refuse. I haven't touched it yet.
It's only a matter of time, Lisa.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna hold out as long as I can.
I
That's
do
just
think-
me.
I do think, though, that it's true that ChatGPT is a big thing, but that as an artist, the one thing you'll always have that, I'm sorry, but no computer can ever really replace the soul.
Right.
Okay, it can mimic a human, but that's not the same as being a human. And I think that's, as an artist, we're so lucky because we're one of the few things that really can't ever be completely replaced by computers or AI. Sure, it may be able to spit out a Basquiat, but it's whatever.
What it can't do is like an original idea, right? It can clone stuff, but not come up with its own.
Yeah, it can borrow and hybridize like many artists together, but that's not the same as being a person who has a life history. And that's why I think it's really important right now to find your voice now and look at your life, and because no computer is ever going to be able to mimic your life.
That's right.
So
I also think it ties in really well with like the thing of imperfection, right?
yes.
I think that just proves that imperfection is the human strength. It's probably quite easy for a computer to be, like a robot perfect, but that's like we are sort of more advanced in the sense that we're imperfect.
That's a good point. Boy, do you think if they could get a computer to accept being imperfect, but it's probably like it would probably blow a fuse.
Yeah.
That's
this
funny.
does not compute. You want me to be?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
What a computer is not is creative, right? In the true sense.
Yeah.
It's not original.
No. Yeah. I mean, and honestly, the thing about art is you do it for your joy, your happiness and fulfillment. And no matter what's going on in the world, as long as you're content with what you're doing, nothing can take away from that at all.
Well, I am way out of my comfort zone here, I have to say.
Ooh, Lisa, let's spotlight you.
Oh, you don't have to, really.
No, we like to. You said the magic. You said the magic
around my circles and not liking anything I'm doing, but that's okay, right? It is just different, and I just need to overcome.
So Giovanna says, as humans, we are able to blow our fuses and remain intact. Yeah. That's awesome.
That is.
And then Bonnie Dorgello says, amazing, Rob. Imperfection is a human strength. It sure is.
Yeah, that's great. Isn't that great? I mean, oh my goodness, you guys.
Yeah. And June Lottie says, I love what you're doing, Lisa.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. You guys are so appreciative. Oh, Amy asked, what is Chat TV? But it's Chat. I'll pop it into here because
that's a big question. That's going to take 10 hours to answer.
No, she's just asking for the spelling, so I'm just going to
okay.
And we're not going to talk about that now because we are creative people who don't really want to talk about that. Let me get Bob here for a second if I can find him.
But I do think imperfection's going to get more and more important. We're on the money with imperfection.
Yes. Just be ourselves. We're not perfect, and that's okay. I think I need to go here.
Is zinc white the one that's transparent?
Yeah, it's more transparent. It's more transparent.
I remember.
So notice how Rob is really doing a lot of repetition with variation, big and small, and he's changing the angle of his shapes, and then some are colored in and some are like outlined. And this is the freedom that he's experiencing. And Rob, you could talk about this. Why does this feel freeing to you? If you want to talk and paint at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, I really am I'm switching quite quickly between 3 different ones, and I'm really trying to think as little as possible.
Good.
And I'll come back to this tomorrow or the next day and then probably paint over it completely again. So there's absolutely no pressure, no expectation, no mistakes possible. So yeah, I'm realizing that I'm gonna have to go off the side of the page a little bit more than I am. I feel like I want to.
That's great.
But yeah, it's so good to this idea of limitation, because you know, I'm not distracted by, oh, now I could switch to some orange, or let me stick a square in the middle. So it's really freeing, bizarrely, although you think the opposite. If you limit yourself, you're going to be hemmed in, but actually it's the complete opposite.
And that's the whole point of today, guys. Just try it. Like, limit yourself to 2 colors, 3 colors, 1 color. And you know, even with 1 color, just imagine, you know, the cavemen way back had charcoal, and look at their cave drawings. They're so beautiful, and they had tremendous limitations. Devandy Studio says we see Chat TV right here and now. It's live YouTube is Chat TV. Okay, from now on, guys, we're the competition to Chat GPT. We're Chat TV.
Yeah,
right.
Love it. That is so creative.
Or we get Oprah involved and get on the network, cable network or whatever.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get a call from Oprah pretty soon. I'm pretty sure when she does Chat TV.
You guys are great.
Yeah, we love to have music, guys, but we have to be very careful, because if we play any music that is that of another artist, you know, famous artist, the music we'd probably want to listen to, then we get flagged. My whole video gets flagged, and it says, sorry, you know, you're infringing on our rights. And so we don't want to, we have to, you know, maybe we could just sing. Not do that. Oh, that's funny. Okay. So if you guys haven't tried these Montana markers, they're pretty cool. They're called markers, but they're paint. And I've had this question before. I'll just show you what that looks like. You fill them with your own, well, you can fill them with the paint that they sell, which is more liquid than, say, the regular acrylic paint that I would normally use. But this is what I've used to get like shapes that, like, okay, if I'm working on my lexicon series and I start to just do this sort of thing. And what I'm doing now with all of my boards is just laying down the bottom layer. So anything goes. And again, it is play. One of the automatic drawing exercises we did was the circle, triangle, square thing. And I'll just show this real quick here for those of you who want a little refresher on automatic drawing. And because it's really freeing, it's a great way to start. And when we did circle, triangle, square, you could say that this is related to a circle, even though it has a hard edge, right? But a circle is whatever you make of it. And then the triangle, you know, if I'm working on my lexicon series, I was thinking how, wow, you know, the letter A is obviously a triangle. So, and I think this thing might be running out of a little bit of the paint in here. It is acrylic though. And if you just reinforce the edge, it'll fill in all the way. Comes in all different colors. They're refillable, so that's nice. So if I'm working on my lexicon series, see, I can easily start to think about letters. And it's easy because I'm not using any kind of mask or stencil, especially in these early layers. I can turn it around and let's see, circle, triangle, square. Well, a square could be like a letter O. It can go off the end. So you do have to shake them up a little bit and again, charge the tip. It's a foam tip, which lasts a long time. And
wow, that looks so cool.
Yeah.
If it starts to get like, you know, like the rough brush, dry brush thing, then you just have to, you can order replaceable tips. So maybe I just didn't shake this enough. And So see, this
It does
is
give
called,
you such a crisp edge though, right? I need to try that out.
yeah, it's really fun. See, now I got more juicy here. So that was the thing. And I love it because, you know, if you're working with black and white, you can really quickly set up something pretty fun and pretty cool. And it'll dry quickly because it is acrylic paint. So this is a wonderful, it comes in white as well, but I noticed the white is not as concealing as, say, I don't know, titanium. It's probably just titanium white, but yet it doesn't really cover very well. And neither does titanium white. It's kind of transparent. So yeah, I'll just let this board set up and work on a couple others. Some of these other boards will probably dry pretty soon. So, okay, so let me just exit this out.
No music makes it better. So they're glad we don't have music for the most part.
Okay.
Susan is going to sing for us since we can't hear her. I'm
Okay.
imagining it, Susan. Thank you for that. I appreciate that you're thinking of us.
Yes, me too. Now there's a question from Maureen Berger, and I just want to pop this up here because Montana markers, yes, I saw less expensive refillable markers. Are Montana truly better? I think it was $9.99 for one. Others were $12.99 for four. So Maureen, if you have the source of those, I'd love to look that up. All I can say is that for me personally, I have not tried a whole lot of different kinds. You know, when I'm on Dick Blick, I often have like a gift certificate from my sister. she knows what to get me for my birthday or whatever, and then I'll splurge and get something fun like these Montana markers. Which, to be honest, you know, whenever I have so many things like that where it's like, oh, I want to try this or I want to try that, right? But then it takes time, and for me, I do have a wide variety of these types of foam markers. And let's see here. There's another question about the foam. I don't know, Gordon, about the volume being low. I don't know if you mean the paint or what. Okay,
Probably on his end.
Sorry?
That's probably on his end.
Okay. So Leslie Price is asking, what is the product with the foam tip called? Yes, it is a foam tip. And I'll just say that the foam tip comes in many different widths and sizes. And it happens to be the 1-inch foam tip. It's called a Montana marker. So it's acrylic. The brand is Montana, which is kind of funny because, you know, I live in Montana. There's also, let me think, what's the other brand that has this refillable type? If you go on, you know, Lisa?
Yeah, I do. Let me find it. Liquitex.
Oh, there you go.
Liquitex.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
But I think Montana is the main one.
Yeah, and I have, let me just show you these guys. So here's some other tips. See, like this one's a really wide one. You can kind of see how the difference in tip width. So if you're working really large scale, this one might be the one that you want to try. Now these, this one's, you can either buy them filled, like this one's black and this one's white, or you can fill them up yourself. Here's one. This is obviously a different kind of tip. Look at how narrow that one is. If you can see up against my hand here, that's a very narrow tip. So that's, you know, if you find out you like them, then that's when, you know, and here's the refillable stuff. It just says acrylic on it. They come in all these different colors and they're really easy to fill. I have like black and white. I have not gotten all the colors on the planet because I'm trying to limit myself. Amazing, isn't it? Okay. Good to keep shaking it though, and you can hear if there's paint in there, so that's what tells you if you're okay. All right, let's see. What is Rob up to now? Let's see what Rob is doing. Whoops, I'm in the wrong place. So there we go. Okay, guys, we're 10 minutes to the hour, and the artists here talked ahead of time and decided that if we feel like continuing to paint, we're going to just continue to paint. So, if any of you are doing this with us, we're happy to have you stay with us.
We're just warming up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Trying to remember to use different gadgets. So Lynn's asking, how do you clean it if you want to refill it? I think you have to buy a new tip. If you want a different color, or you can just kind of let it mix for the beginning of it, right? And then it'll eventually come out to the new color, which could be really fun.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's a tool, and if you're willing to clean out the tube and get another color and rinse out the tip, it's a lot of work. You could do it for sure, but again, if you just limit your selection, you don't like black and white is actually quite nice. You don't have to have too many colors and too many tips.
If there's one thing I'm amazing at, is making a mess. So look at my hands.
Oh,
look at my hands.
Well, so you don't wear gloves, Rob.
So it's all coming out today. It's all. I should, I know, but quite often I don't, or sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
I know you really should, especially if you're painting every day.
Yeah.
I have these little finger cuts, Rob, because I do not care for gloves either. And so these little finger cuts are nice, just to put on your fingers.
That's a good idea. I mean, everything has pros and cons, right? Like I spend my whole life with it's really hard to get the paint then really like out of your fingernails and stuff. So I spend my whole life scrubbing my fingers, so it's not good either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have fun, don't we? Well, I am having fun painting around these circles.
All right, let's get
connected circles.
We've moved into circles.
Yeah, super nice. And of course, when I started, with my normal mark making and color ink dripping, and so that's looking pretty inside my circles.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
Your community is starting to show.
I know, I'm so excited.
There she goes.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
All kind of dirty and messy. I just love it.
Yeah.
I don't care for my finger cuts, though. I have to say I want them off.
That's so cool, though. So, like, are those considered an art product, or like where do you find those?
Let's see, they're called Graphco. It says not intended for medical exam use or industrial use only.
Oh, I really need those, Lisa. They look great. That's exactly what I need.
Yeah, and they have different sizes. So I have large and medium because my thumb's a bit fatter and it squishes it if I try to use the medium. So I use the large on my thumb and the medium on the rest of my fingers. And so yeah, I got them on Amazon.
Let's just say we know why you don't want a doctor to be wearing those, in case they're probing you and they come off.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
So I have another like product shout out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not sure if it's that good to use them, but I've ended up over the years using them so much, and that's like in Europe we call them wet wipes, like baby wipes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the ones, they're like literally 100% just water in them. There's no fragrance or anything.
Oh wow. Is that an art supply though? Where do you get those?
Is this not an American thing? Basically it's for like cleaning babies and things.
Oh, without so really supernatural, like people don't.
Yeah.
soaps and fragrances. Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm sure if there was if it was like soap in there, it wouldn't be so good with acrylic, obviously, but because they're just water,
yeah,
and they're really good for just wiping things off that you've just put down. So
fun.
Is there a brand on those, Rob?
yeah, I think this one I have here is a really local German.
Oh,
I'm not sure you get them here, but in the UK they're called baby wipes.
Okay.
I thought baby wipes had something on them. Maybe not.
Or
No.
wet wipes.
Some do.
Some do, yeah.
And you just have to look. I didn't realize they made them with just water.
They do here. I don't know.
Yeah, very cool.
They're quite good because they're quite small and quite fine, unlike sort of dipping like a kitchen towel into water. It's a bit
So
different.
do they feel? Are they pretty thin, and do they feel pretty like wet?
Yeah, they're like really saturated. So it's,
Nice. That's good to know.
So I'm just gonna, and you can really, because they're so saturated, you can go back into things you did, like I'm doing it right now, like things I did sort of 10 minutes ago, and take them almost completely off again.
Nice. That's very cool.
Okay, now what am I going to do with this one?
Okay, let's see here.
This one turned out, it's the one that's on Cradleboard, and it turned out to do some really cool background marks when I was trying to get all the color off because I had way too much on it. And I used my squirt bottle and my paper towel. And it just really has some lovely marks, and I hate to cover them up. Having trouble with that. Don't want to cover stuff up. It's super messy and weathered looking, and
So what do you do in that situation, Lisa, when you feel like, oh, you really love something, and what are you going to do?
Oh, you suck it up and do it anyway, right? Oh, yeah, you suck it up and do it anyway. Where's my black? I need black, because I'll just do the white. What the heck?
So guys, what are your thoughts on like fast play versus slow play? Do you think play has to be fast?
No. I mean, are you talking about like a timed play? Like if, like let's say you gave yourself a certain amount of time, or are you talking about in general?
I'm talking about sort of in the moment, like right now, I feel like I can feel myself slowing down and looking at them a bit more, but I still want to stay in play mode. Yeah.
I think that's really good. I mean, I know Cynthia Lee, another one of our admin, is a very big proponent of stay and play as long as you can. And I love that because it just, we often, I think in life, want to keep moving on to the next stage. And, but play is where all the magic happens, I think. And if we're in too much of a hurry to get to the next thing, you might miss some of the most beautiful things that could happen. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Lisa?
I agree. Let's play.
Okay.
I do think the slower you are, the harder it is to really switch, the brain off and just keep being intuitive.
Yeah.
I feel like you need like a certain kind of tempo going.
For play?
Yeah. I think it's possible slower, but you've just got to be careful not to like get stuck then in like the bottom left-hand corner. And
yes, that's the hard thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think that like anything, we as adults, play takes practice because we're not children anymore. We have to really make an effort to become really good at play. And that's why, spending more time with it means the more we spend with it, the better we'll get. That's my goal anyways. I really want to become a master of play. I don't care about anything else.
It's easier said than done.
It's a lot easier said than done, I think. Okay. Got these
Even though it's not about the outcome, right? It's not about a good result.
right.
But just kind of really making the process completely free of judgment.
I think the irony to me about painting is that if we clearly just focus on those things that in the moment, like it's not about the future, it's about in the moment what you really love doing. And if we just keep doing that at every stage of a painting's life, then you've enjoyed the entire process and you're going to keep with it until you love it or like it a lot. And whatever that means, the point is that you spent most of the time of that painting just playing and enjoying the process. So then you'll show up a whole lot more.
Well, and just knowing that there's no fear in play, right? And you know that it doesn't matter. You're just playing, exploring, experimenting, and you know, who cares how ugly it is? Ugly is good, right?
Yes,
Ugly
it is.
is so good.
Thank God for that.
Let's see here. We got some more comments. Oh, there we go. That's right. Karen Phillips says, I have monotone markers that I can refill. That's the other brand I was trying to.
That's it.
Karen, thank you so much. Yeah, I just completely, that's the first one I had seen. And so Lisa has already shown her finger cuffs. And let's see, new comments.
I think another good tip for play is to keep changing your tools.
Yeah.
So from paint to pastel to, that helps kind of.
Okay, Patricia says, let me get back. She just disappeared. She's saying you can get those wet wipes at CVS Pharmacy. So the wet only, I think without any like soap or anything in it.
Good.
Tina Von Busick says, let me just get that.
Can I just say about the wet wipes? Like, I've never seen anybody else use them, so I'm not sure if it's that advisable, but I like them.
Oh, of course. Tina Von Busick says, slow play allows me more sensitivity and greater listening inwards. Ooh, I like that.
That's good.
Yes, and Bonnie Dorgello says, hang on, guys, I'm really slow here. I'm not like Lisa. Love the pace of the play stage. Yes, you are. Yes. And then Devandy Studios says, this is a cool comment. A lot of you saying something about play here. Fast or slow matters not to me. I let the moment dictate how fast or slow to work. Isn't that great? Because that is what you want to do, right? Just your painting to me. How many of you feel like your painting actually talks to you? Because I do.
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a conversation, right?
Right. I think it's a conversation if we're listening, but we do need to listen, right? And that's not always easy to do. Okay, let's see here.
Surely I own color black.
What's that, Lisa?
But I can't find black, but I know I own it. I just don't use it. Oh.
Let's see here.
Well,
I can hear the concentration. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, guys, what we might do, we might close the session now just because we want to offer you guys a chance to work with us and ask questions and all that fun stuff. But we also, if the videos go too long, I guess we get quieter. But we want to thank you for being here. And let's see. So Evelyn says, thank you, Pam, Lisa, and Rob. I need to go now. It's been good to catch with you. Thank you so much, Evelyn, for joining us from Paris. And Leslie says, thanks, I really enjoyed working with you all, working with wax and just doing my own thing. Yay, it's really nice. So sorry I have to go. Yes. And yeah, thank you guys. We love having you here. You guys have been a great group of people to chat with. And thank you to Rob and to Lisa. Here are their sites. Again, let me just get over to the banners. And here is Lisa. She has a show going on right now. So let me just take her out of the solo here so we can see. Oh no, that's
Lisa,
that's
right. Looking amazing. Wow.
Yes, it is. Lovely.
Fun.
That bit of black in there is so striking. And let's look at Rob's site here, guys. Check out Rob's website. He's got so much great art. And Rob, do you want to talk a little bit about this upcoming studio? You talked about, you're moving from Germany to England. What's happening to your art?
Yeah, so it's a little bit up in the air at the moment, but I have so much art here. It's been piling up. So I'm going to do an open house weekend and turn my place into a gallery.
So if any of you are out there, if any of you, I don't know if you're willing to share your lists, your price list with our audience here, but if you are you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, I'm still in the process of putting it together, and it's going to be in the next month or so. But I'm definitely going to have a digital catalog at some point.
All right. So if you guys would like a digital catalog from Rob, just pop it into the chat here, the comment section, so that he can see your name. And if you're in our Art and Success Pro group, he'll know who you are. And if you're not in the group, just put it in the comment section and he'll try to get one to you. Okay. So thank you all for joining us. How fun. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Okay, bye.
Bye.